everyone, it's Henna here and thanks for coming to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be doing a review and wear test of the new Wet n Wild Impossible primer. But before we get into that video, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I do post new videos here every week. Also follow me on Instagram at Thehennaali, because I'm always on Instagram if not here on YouTube. But without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright you guys, so I have a bare face. I know a second ago I didn't, but I have a bare face, clean face, moisturized, all my skincare. But it is time to put this primer to the test. Here is the Wet n Wild Impossible primer right here. It has not been opened, it is brand new. I got this from Ulta. Well, there's like a tape. I ordered this online on ulta.com, so I don't know if this is how it looks when you buy it in store or not. They have like this normal scotch tape on it, kind of like open. See? Totally not me. It was already on there when I got it from Ulta, the scotch tape, so I don't know if they did that because they didn't want it to open in transit. But yeah, so the claims on it: it mattifies, it hydrates, it blurs pores, it preps skin for lasting makeup, and it's impossibly silicone free. It's delivering all the benefits you asked for in a primer, and the one you never thought you could. Silicone free to dodge skin congestion. We're just gonna kind of see how this looks alone on the skin, compare both the sides, and then apply my foundation, kind of see what it looks like. So I am gonna zoom you guys in because I have a new lens and I can do that and it'll be really great to see. So let's zoom you guys in here. Oh, there we go. You guys are really close and personal with me right now with my skin. So before we get into the part about this primer, just to let you know, I do have combination to oily skin. I have large pores, texture, acne scarring, hormonal breakouts, the works. So I thought just let you guys know. So yeah. Alright, so just to see if there's any difference before I apply, I decided that instead of just keeping it on one side and not the other, we're gonna compare it on camera on one, putting it here and not here. But then once we see the comparison, then I'm gonna go ahead and just apply it to the rest of the face, because I want to give the primer a good chance to see how it works with my rest of my foundation, my makeup throughout the day. So let's just do that. We have the little seal here. Let me just show you guys a quick close-up again of the packaging. And this does retail for $6.99. I know I didn't mention it, I'm sorry, but I did now. And when you dispense it out, I was getting scared. Ooh, it looks like almost like a powder. Did you guys see that? Like dusted off. There we go. That's what it looks like. Oh no, guys. Let's see. So I'm gonna put it on this side and leave that side alone for now. So let's just see what happens here, you guys. If we see any visible difference beside my skin just reacting, which is why it turned red. It's not a bad thing, that just happens. My skin is pretty reactive when I put product on. So I'm gonna just put it really on the areas I like to apply primer with my T-zone, and then just anywhere I have extra texture, pores, the works. And then let's put it on half the forehead. And that's not oil, it's just my skincare moisturized. It's very hydrated skin. That's what you're seeing, the shine, you know? Alright guys, so here we have on this side is where we have the primer, and this side we don't. See different in pores, maybe. I don't know, tell me, what do you think? So honestly, it just seems like it mattified it. I don't really see anything with pores. It looks almost the same to me, just a little mattified, while still feeling like not matte. Like it appears matte, but it doesn't feel like dry, my skin. So that's all I see for now. I'm gonna go ahead and just apply the rest of the primer on the other side of my face, because you know we gotta give this a fair chance. So I'm just gonna put it on the rest of my face and we're gonna see how this lasts throughout the day. We want to give the product a fair chance, guys. Alright, I went ahead and zoomed myself out just because now I'm gonna go ahead and apply my face routine, face-based stuff on, and that is, I started with concealer, and that's the Rare Beauty concealer in the shade 280N. I know I've kind of always mentioned my routine in most of these videos I do, but a lot of times you guys are new to the channel, so hold on. So I like to make sure that I'm kind of just going over everything if you're new. So I blend this concealer in with the Rare Beauty concealer brush, it is quite frankly one of my favorite ways to apply concealer as of lately. If not this, I like to use the ecotools Total Perfecting Blender or the Tati Beauty Blendiful, I think that's what it's called. Even though I use that mainly to just set my under eyes or use it for setting powder mainly as of lately. I don't really use it to blend out any liquid anymore. Okay, so I also use this for contour before I apply my face liquid foundation, and it's the Matchstick in Mocha from Fenty Beauty. And this is definitely a cult favorite of many. And since I brought up ecotools, they actually came out with another version of their Total Perfecting Blender, and I bought this on my own from Ulta. But it's biodegradable, so I don't know if you guys can see on the sponge, but on the sponge right there, it says plant me. So you can plant this sponge, which is really cool to me. Took a little second there to wet the sponge, but that's how big it gets. I love ecotools Total Perfecting Blender, so I want to see if this will be able to blend out the Matchstick. Because I do sometimes have a hard time with the Matchstick's formula. It's very dry. I would say it's pretty dry, it's not as creamy, which is not a bad thing. I actually like that because it doesn't slip or move around too much on my face. But let's see how well I can blend it out with the ecotools Total Perfecting Blender. And honestly, that was pretty simple. That was actually quicker than even when I blend out with the brush. Pretty good job. I mean, I know the Total Perfecting Blender, it's one of my, if I had to pick a beauty sponge, it is the one by ecotools. It is amazing. I don't even own a beauty blender anymore. I only own the ecotools Total Perfecting Blender at this point. And look at that, that was such a seamless blend. And I don't like a harsh contour, if you're wondering why I'm not like going crazy. I like it very soft and subtle and pretty. So now I like to go in with foundation over, and I do all this because I like to use less product for a full coverage look. I don't want to go in with so many products and then it be cakey and just gross throughout the day. And I just want my face to feel really light, not like I'm wearing too much. So now I go in with the Huda Beauty Full Filter Foundation Stick in 300N, which is Latte. And you don't have to do a lot. I'm kind of just, it's whatever my mood is, how many like little stripes I want to put. But I think that looks pretty good for the moment, kind of thing. So usually I'll use the Rare Beauty foundation brush to blend out my foundation. And again, I mean, the Total Perfecting Blender is really nice. Overall, I've used it so much in the last couple of years for foundation, but as of lately, ever since I've tried out this foundation brush from Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez, I've just been obsessed. It's been the only way I apply foundation, especially this foundation routine I have going for me. This is how I apply it, and I don't apply it any other way. So you could totally use a blender, but for me personally, it's just preference. I love how seamless my foundation and how easy it is to blend it out. Like, look at that, I'm done. Like, that's, it looks so pretty, and it was so quick, you know. Now this has also become a favorite of mine. It's all I use currently, and that's the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder, the One Size Beauty, my mistake, Ultimate Setting Powder. And just to give you guys a quick little, I mean, you probably hear this a lot from other reviews. If you don't, well then I'm gonna say it. I like to use, whenever I'm doing primer reviews, foundation reviews, I use it with the products I use already, just because that's what I'm gonna use. So if it works well with that, then it's good for me. Okay, so I'll go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I will be right back so we can kind of just see what's going on. And by then it should be like the hour and a half check-in. Alright guys, so I went ahead and completed the rest of my makeup. It's been about a good 2 hours since I've had all my makeup on and my primer on. So as of right now, as I mentioned before, I don't really see anything with the smoothing of my texture. This area is right here where my pores are. It looks a little bit smoother than usual, but other than that, I don't really see a difference with my scarring. My texture still peeks through, which I do have some primers where it does seem a little bit smoother. So if you have acne scarring or just really bad texture and you're looking to smooth it out, it may not help you in that department, but it did help with the pores right here, and it did mattify, where I don't feel my skin feeling too dry or sucked out of moisture, but it does look matte. So we're definitely gonna do a check-in and then the last one, but it looks pretty good so far. I have no complaints. Besides that, I mean, on here it says it mattifies, hydrates, and blurs pores. So it's doing what it claims to do. I just was hoping that maybe it might, because usually when it says blurring pores, it's referring to just smoothing out your skin texture. So I was hoping that maybe it would also do it for my scarring on my cheeks, but it hasn't. That doesn't mean it's a terrible primer. That just means that it doesn't work if you have really bad acne scarring or texture. Maybe if you just have a couple pores or just a little bit larger pores than you'd like, and you'd like to smooth them out a little bit, this would be good for you. Or if you're looking for a mattifying primer that's not super drying to the skin, then maybe this will be something you're interested in, and it's silicone free. But I will be with you guys in just a second with our midday check-in, and then we will finish it off there. All right guys, so it has been about, I would say, 4 hours with my makeup and foundation on. I'm kind of in weird lighting right now, but I hope you guys can see everything. I will say this is not my favorite primer. I'm not a huge fan of it. It looked nice in front of the lights and my studio lighting and all that, but in real time I feel like I have other primers that I've tried on this channel that I think have looked a lot better with my makeup. My texture just, it's really there, it's really apparent. I mean, it kind of always is, but it's usually smoothed out a lot better. So I will see you guys at the end, but so far I don't think I'm for this primer. All right guys, so it's officially now the 5-hour check-in of this makeup. Let me just go ahead and zoom you guys in here. So let's just give it a second to autofocus. This is what my foundation makeup is looking like. It doesn't look bad at all. However, I am pretty oily. I got pretty shiny, even though this was supposed to be a mattifying primer. My texture, my pores, everything is showing. So I will say this primer for me personally, and that's just because I do have a lot of texture, I have large pores, acne scarring. This is not a primer for me. I think this is definitely more for someone that probably has a little bit of pores, but nothing too crazy. You probably already have a pretty nice base going for you, and you're just looking for something to mattify your foundation and just give you, I guess, a nice base to start with. But personally, I don't recommend this primer, especially if you have similar skin type as me. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. Like if I don't have a primer and I just need a primer, sure, I'll probably use it, but like I wouldn't pick this up. I wouldn't recommend picking it up. I don't care for it. I feel like the e.l.f. Putty primer, which I think is cheaper than this one, is such an amazing primer. So I'm going to be saying no to the Wet n Wild Impossible primer. But alright guys, that's it for this video. That is how I feel about the new Wet n Wild Impossible primer. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I do post new videos here every week. Also follow me on Instagram at Thehennaali, because I'm always on Instagram, if not here on YouTube. But alright guys, that is it for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.